Hi everyone and welcome to the BizNation podcast. I'm Kerry and this is episode 36, which is part 2 of our Christmas mashup. We have changed the pace leading up to Christmas. We've gone all our casual for these episodes. We've had some amazing guests join us again, people that have been on the show throughout 2020, and a massive thank you to those coming on the show to share their Christmas joy and stories with us. To anyone watching or listening, thank you so much for joining me throughout 2020, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas, festive greetings, and a Happy New Year for 2021. So, John, what is your favourite thing about Christmas?
Yeah, well, especially I think this year, the celebrating with family and friends is always good. You know, I think too many times during the year you sort of it's like, oh, we really should catch up again or whatever, but Christmas sort of really does force the issue and it makes you make an effort to actually connect. This year I think one of the things that I'm most sort of looking forward to is my son. He's now 3 and everything that is like Santa and Christmas related, he now quite understands. So the Christmas tree got up and I think everything to, within a metre height has been moved about 20 times because he loves taking the baubles off. But he's super excited for Santa to come down the chimney. So I think that's going to be something I definitely am looking forward to seeing on Christmas Day. But yeah, just getting together with family and friends is probably what I look forward to the most.
Yeah, for sure. And your little one, so last year he was only 2. So
Yep.
you're looking for this epic change between last Christmas and this Christmas.
Yep, absolutely. Last Christmas he sort of didn't really understand what the whole Christmas thing was, but obviously understood the present side of it when he sort of woke up and saw some presents. But this year he sort of, the anticipation component, he gets it. So it's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. And what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
My favourite thing about Christmas is time to spend with my family. I think that's really what Christmas is about. Christmas, of course, is about, the Christian family.
Yeah.
And it's a great time to get together. I don't get to see my son, who's an adult now, so it's nice to spend that time with him. And, our parents are in faraway places, so we get to see them too.
Oh, lovely.
That's what I like about Christmas.
Yay. So, Dan, tell me, what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
Food and just spending time with family, to be honest. I mean, I actually grew up in interstate in Merimbula, and so going back to Merimbula, hanging out with parents and nieces and nephews and all that kind of stuff now is a lot of fun. So it's usually a very relaxed Christmas day, spent by the beach, lots of food, a great afternoon nap.
Food coma nap, yes.
Yeah, that's right. And then leftovers and a few more drinks at night. So it's a great little beach relaxed Christmas day, and I think that's the best part of it. It's a day where you just get to do nothing and you can switch on.
And enjoy the food and the company. That's
exactly
what it's all about. Love it. Jo, what is your favourite thing about Christmas?
I think it's probably the same as everyone, and it's getting together with family.
Yes.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, you don't sit there in anticipation of what your present's going to be. It's more about the kids and the grandkids, isn't it?
I can't wait to give the grandkids their presents. It's going to be such a good year. My grandson is 3, and so it's just going to be so fun to watch him.
I've actually got another guest on the show that has a 3-year-old as well, and we were just chatting about it. And I said to him, oh, mate, this year with a 3-year-old is going to be so much more exciting than last year. Yay.
Oh, so much more. Yeah, it'll be so exciting.
And do you have any Christmas traditions?
Christmas traditions, other than sort of, I suppose, getting together with the family, that's probably one of the main ones. We do sort of, I suppose, a bit of a boring one, but we do usually watch like the carols. So watch the carols on telly, and then potentially maybe not this year, but usually locally they've got a Christmas carols down at the Footy Oval. So we'd usually go down there and do that with some friends. And then obviously just a bit of R&R after Chrissy and between New Year. But yeah, sort of the Christmas carol thing is something we do.
Yeah, cool. I love it. Do you have any Christmas traditions?
Oh, yeah. Biggest Christmas tradition is we put the Christmas tree up on December 6th.
Ooh.
Yeah, December. So this one went up December 6th. It's the feast of St. Nicholas, who's Santa Claus, and that's my birthday.
Of
so
course.
Mrs. Claus. Yeah. So yeah, Christmas tree always goes up on the 6th of December. It's anyone who's European, if you've got a Dutch background or a German background, you'll know where I'm coming from, because I do a lot of celebrations on the 6th of December.
Oh, this sounds good. I might have to mark that on my calendar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Dutch have got a really big thing.
Yeah, excellent. Dan, do you have any Christmas traditions?
Well, probably not so much myself, or probably ones that I'm a part of. So my dad will hate me saying this, but he's a horrible singer, but he does love a good Christmas album.
Ooh.
And he will always duck down to the local sanity before Christmas and generally get the worst Christmas CD. Generally, it could be a Neil Diamond, Christmas hits, maybe a bit of Michael Bublé if he wants to be something a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
But generally, I will wake up on Christmas morning, him belting out some sort of Christmas carol, poorly, and that is my alarm. So as much as I hate it, it is a good signal that today is Christmas Day. So,
and are we talking a respectable hour? Or is
respectable by his time zone. Not so sure if it is mine, but it's always generally kick off Christmas Day on that. And then being growing up by the beach, my family will generally start with a big seafood lunch to start off with, plenty of prawns and oysters, but funnily enough, even though I grew up on the beach, I don't eat any seafood. So the first hour of me is me generally either having my first drink while I watch them eat prawns and oysters, or having something to myself. But that's a Christmas tradition that can't, unfortunately, just be part of it. You have to, but that's part and parcel.
Yeah, that's it. Jo, what do you have any Christmas traditions?
Yeah, we do, like the stockings that I was showing you earlier. So until this year, my children are in their 30s, but I was still giving them stockings.
Yeah.
But we have prawns. We always have to have prawns.
Oh.
The kids are just devastated if we didn't have prawns every Christmas.
Yeah.
And we do a sort of traditional. It's probably a demamil, which is my maiden name. Traditional Christmas food, but then we've got the pillen mixed in.
Oh. A combo. I hear a combo. Yeah.
A fusion. A fusion is what my daughters would say.
Wonderful word. That's great. I love it. What has been the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Yeah, I was thinking about this one, and I sort of thought, there's been a few that have been pretty good, but my wife actually surprised me with a helicopter flight over Melbourne, which was awesome. So that was a few Christmases back, and we departed out of Essendon and took a really nice joy flight around, and then had lunch and then returned. So yeah, that's probably been the best one that I've had, and the most far out one, I would think. Yeah,
that's cool. Obviously you didn't do that on Christmas Day, so this was a gift on Christmas Day for a January booking or something like that.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, got the voucher, and it was all I suppose super pumped and excited, and then a few weeks later we booked it in.
Awesome. And what's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
I had to really think about that one. And you know what? I think my favourite Christmas present is a piece of embroidery. My family, we all embroider, and after a big Christmas lunch, we'd sit around in those hot, long summer school holidays and we'd all embroider. It's very Jane Austen.
Yeah.
I remember my very first Irish linen tablecloth. So if anyone's an embroiderer, you'll know what I mean about Irish linen, beautiful stuff. And so I got it when I was 16 years old, and It was beautiful. The pattern was wattles, and I remember working on that over the summer holidays. And, I've still got it.
Oh, wow.
Use it. It's on the table every Christmas.
Oh.
And it still looks good 41 years later.
No.
I can't believe it. I've still got it. And
Wow.
it's a beautiful thing.
Fantastic.
Mum gave me that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. What a good little story behind it as well. Awesome. Then what is the best Christmas present you've ever received?
I was trying to think back of some ones that I got as a kid, but my memory is not that good. So probably more recent was one. I have a sporting bucket list that I like to tick off over the years. One of the ones on the bucket list was going to a Boxing Day test to the Ashes.
Yep.
And England were out for the Ashes, so I was fortunate enough to be in Melbourne and not have to, unfortunately, because not being in Melbourne for Christmas time and being 8 hours away with family, it makes it a little bit harder to go to any Boxing Day tests. So managed to be in Melbourne for the 1 year, and to see the cricket the next day was just the spectacle, the atmosphere. It was everything that I could have expected. Had a great day. So that was probably getting tickets to Boxing Day on Christmas Day was really probably one of the most memorable ones.
Yeah, good. And what is the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Well, I probably should say my grandson and granddaughter being born just close to Christmas.
Yeah.
So probably those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably can't think of any presents as such, but yeah, just the kids being born. Yeah.
That's sweet. Awesome. And if you could spend Christmas anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Yeah, okay, good one. Look, I have to say I do love home in Australia. I do definitely love Australia, and I don't have any qualms in being here. I love it. But if it was anywhere in the world, I think it would be New York, and the reason is that I've never experienced, nor with my family, a winter Christmas or a white Christmas. So I think seeing that and potentially, the big Christmas tree at like the Rockefeller Center could be awesome, and the ice skating and all of that sort of, I suppose, is usually portrayed as Christmas and cold versus us, the Christmas and hot. Yeah. I think, that would be maybe something that, I would like to do at some point in my life. And as a one-off, that would probably be my pick.
I think you're on the money there, because a lot of us Aussies, we have our hot Christmas and we've experienced, all forms of a warm Christmas. Even on the cooler, cloudy days, it's still quite warm. But we get this fantasy from all these Christmas movies of this white Christmas. So, I think that's the top of many people's list, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And if you could spend Christmas anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
You know what? It wouldn't matter anywhere. It's who I'm with.
Yeah.
It's, with my husband and my son. So last year it was Sydney.
Ooh.
This year it'll be at home.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe next year Fiji or New Zealand. So long as the three of us are together, it doesn't matter where.
Yeah. Excellent. No dreams of a white Christmas? You don't want to head overseas to the snow? Or...
No, not really. No, I'm an Aussie girl. Christmas is not about snow. It's ridiculous, even though we're putting up, snowmen and, conifers and that. But for me, it's hot summer days, the smell of gardenia and jasmine and the taste of prawns.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, never had a real hankering for the white Christmas, no.
Might be just nice to watch it on the movies and just,
Yeah.
And Dan, if you could spend anywhere in the world for Christmas, where would it be and why?
It's funny. I mean, a lot of Australians always want to experience a white Christmas, and I think there's an element of me that probably would like to do that 1 year. So with the snow inside, your warm traditional type Christmas meal. But there are times when, on Christmas Day and I'm sitting on the back deck at mum and dad's in the sun, and heading down towards the beach, and I really wouldn't replace it for anything around the world. So there are times where, I just want to be at home with family, and that's honestly one of the best places I think in the world to spend any day, but especially Christmas Day. So maybe one of those little things I'll tick off one time, but certainly in no rush, and making the most of every single little bit that I get to spend with family.
Yeah, I could picture you kind of sitting there freezing, going, I wish I was by the beach. I wish it was Aussie summer.
That's right. Yeah. I think in the Southern Hemisphere we all want to experience once, but then people in the Northern Hemisphere sort of say, no, you don't.
Exactly. And if you could spend Christmas anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Okay, this is going to be funny. It's Hungary, which is it's my little hometown, and that's because all my siblings, I just really love to have all my siblings and all my cousins. We used to have great Christmases. So
yay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And John, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to name 3 of Santa's reindeers. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go. 5.
All right. Rudolph,
4,
Dasher, Dancer,
3, 2,
Comet.
1.
I don't know.
Nailed it. You did really well.
I have to say, I probably did have an unfair advantage, as I said, with a 3-year-old son. At the moment, our favourite movie of the minute is the Tim Allen The Santa Claus movie, and I think I've probably seen that about probably 20 times in the last month. So I'm a bit across the reindeers.
Yeah, no, you did really well. So there's Blitzen, Dasher, Donner, Prancer, Dancer, Vixen, Cupid. Did I mention Comet? I can't remember.
Yeah, oh, maybe.
Yeah, and there's obviously Rudolph. But there's another one that it's called Clyde. I didn't even
Clyde.
Yeah, who's Clyde?
Wow, yeah, that's a new one. I haven't heard of him.
No, either. I Googled it, obviously, and I was like, Clyde?
Yeah.
What? I've never heard of Clyde.
Clyde the reindeer. Wow.
Yeah. So we'll all be across that as of next year, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I want to give you 5 seconds to tell me 3 names of Santa's reindeers. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, go. 5.
Dancer and Blitzen.
3, 2.
Did I get them? How many have I got to do?
You did it.
Right. Okay.
You nailed it in like a second and a half. That was like a record. Oh my God. Okay. Anne wins the prize for the best Rudolph and what did you say? Rudolph, Dasher,
I didn't do Rudolph. I did Dasher, Dancer and Blitzen.
Everyone has said Rudolph, so I've got Rudolph on the brain. And I have to ask the question, did you know that there was one called Clyde? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's called Clyde.
Well, that's what Google tells me. I'm just going by Google.
Oh, there you go. I'll have to look that up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither.
Blitzen.
Blitzen, Dasher, Donner, Dancer, Prancer, Rudolph, Comet, Cupid, Vixen, and Clyde.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Everyone's learning about Clyde this year.
I'm going to find out about Clyde.
Yeah. Dan, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to name 3 of Santa's reindeers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right. 5.
Rudolph, Blitzen.
2, 1.
No.
Mate, you were so close. I thought you were going to get it.
What's the other one? There's one. Wasn't it rhyme with? I'm trying to think of them in my head. What?
You want me to read them out?
Yeah, rattle them off.
Okay, so Rudolph, you got.
Yeah.
There's Blitzen.
Yep.
Dasher. Donner.
Dasher.
Yeah, Dasher, Donner, Prancer.
Prancer.
Comet, Cupid.
Comet.
Vixen.
Oh, Vixen.
And Clyde.
Clyde, really?
Who's Clyde?
Clyde's an interesting one.
This is what Google tells me.
Right.
By Google.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Guided by Google.
Yep.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds to name 3 of Santa's reindeers. Are you ready?
No.
Go. 5.
Rudolph,
4,
Dancer.
3,
Happy? I don't know.
2, 1,
I'm thinking third.
0. Sorry. There is. You got, which ones did you get? You got
I got 2.
Rudolph
2 and Dancer.
Dancer, good one. Not a lot of people get Dancer. There's Blitzen, Dasher, Donna, Prancer, Cupid, Comet, Vixen, Rudolph and Dancer, of course. And did you know there's one called Clyde?
No, I had no idea.
Nobody knows about Clyde.
No, I don't know about Clyde at all.
I only found out because I Googled it, obviously, to make sure that I had the answer. Who's Clyde? I don't know.
And how out of left field is Clyde compared to all the other names?
Well, I always thought Vixen was a little bit off, but then I found Clyde and I went, well, that's even worse. Like,
That's it.
Crazy. Good. Do you remember as a child, did you ever have coins in the Christmas pudding? And if so, how do you feel about it now?
I do. It was probably an early memory, of a Christmas pudding with the little, they were like almost like copper coins, I think. Probably ideally, thinking about it now, yeah, cool tradition, but probably not a great idea on Christmas to choke on something and end up in an emergency. But like it was definitely something I can probably remember it quite young, and then it just disappeared, the coin thing. But definitely remember it as a young kid. And I think, let's say a COVID safe Christmas, that would probably be a no-no. But I'm all for it.
I remember it quite well, but the thing I can't remember was the pudding cooked with them in it, or did they go in after it? I can't remember. I just remember for us, I don't think we had the copper ones. I think it was like 5 and 10 cent pieces. And how did anyone not choke? I can't comprehend.
Christmas pudding always brings back memories. My aunties got quite a large family, and usually we'll go over there. It'll either be lunch or dinner. And my auntie's mum, so almost it's like a nana to me as well, she used to make this pudding, and I suppose as a kid it was massive, but it just reminded me of like a watermelon. Like it was so big. She'd make this massive pudding, and that was what I remembered the coins in. So hi to Bianca out there if you're watching, and Auntie Jen, that's where I get that memory from.
And now the question is, John, was that pudding really that big, or were you just a child?
Yeah, I think it could have been a mixture of both, because being in an Italian family, nothing's ever done by halves. It's always more. So it was probably big, but I was probably also exceptionally small. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the huge watermelon. Maybe it was a cantaloupe.
Yeah, good one. I like that. My next question for you, Anne, is do you have a childhood memory, or it could be still a thing, of coins in the Christmas pudding?
I've got a great story about coins in the Christmas pudding.
Oh, please share.
Yeah, it's about when I met my husband. So I met my husband when we were both 21.
Yep.
And I went to the family Christmas dinner. And Brian's grandmother used to make this massive Christmas pudding. It was like bigger than a football. And so she cut it up and served it up and said to my mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, now that piece is Anne's, that piece is Brian's. And my mum never cooked Christmas pudding. She never cooked Christmas cake, so I didn't know about the coins. So here am I eating this Christmas pudding, and I chewed on this sixpence.
Wow.
And Brian spat out a button, and everyone was smiling and really happy. It was sort of like, oh, you found it, and I realised that I'd been accepted. To be accepted by Brian's grandmother in such a way was such an honour.
Oh.
And I think of her every Christmas. And she was a beautiful woman. Her name was Molly, and the man she married is in the portrait behind me.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, and they went on to have 12 children. Yeah, she was a beautiful woman, Molly.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. Oh, and it has been, I confess, I've spoken with a few guests, and yeah, I was feeling like the only child that went through the coins in the Christmas pudding. So I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I be an adult, but yeah,
Yeah.
eventually got it. And we then make the Christmas pudding for years afterwards, and it was massive. You'd have to stick it on the barbecue outside to boil it.
That's massive.
Because we had 12 kids, so we just kept on making these massive. I've still got the recipe in her handwriting somewhere.
Oh, no way.
Mhm.
Phew. Phew. And Dan, do you have any memories in your childhood of having coins in your Christmas pudding?
Yes, absolutely.
Finally.
Funny story. My granddad, bless his soul, grew up in tougher times, and the old 5, 10 and 20 cent pieces that would go in there, and he'd take out there. Don't worry, he'd be pocketing those and taking home with him. I'm the only man that would have no change on his plate by the end of it. And yeah, he couldn't believe it when Mum decided one year to get a little bit snazzy and clean off some $1 and $2 coins.
Ooh.
And start to put those in there. And so as a young kid, that was when I was like, I probably ate half the pudding searching for them, I think. So yes, definitely always got to have the coins in the pudding.
And how do you feel about this now? Is this still a thing for you?
Definitely. Yeah. Mum's still got to make sure, especially this year, probably make sure that you boil them and just disinfect them a little bit. Mum's tried one year to actually cook them in there prior to, and they ended up just being a little bit too well baked in there. So it's after the fact type thing that she sticks them in there. But no, definitely always got to have coins in there, plenty of custard, double up with ice cream as well if you want to.
Custard, cream, ice cream, layer it up. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Next question, Jo, and this one's a tough one. I hope you're ready. Did you ever have coins in your Christmas pudding, and how do you feel about it now?
And yes, I did.
Oh, yay! I'm not the only one.
That's showing my age, I think. Yes, we used to have, my nan used to make Christmas puddings with threepences and whatever the other things were called.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We loved it. We loved it as kids because it was such fun. And only Nan was really strict, and she'd only let us have out of our only little piece. She wouldn't let us search through the pudding.
Do you reckon they were cooked in it, or were they put in after?
No, they were cooked.
They were
cooked in it.
Oh, wow. Well, that kind of makes you feel a little bit like...
bit cleaner.
Yeah. Would you do it now? Is it something that you've carried on?
No, I haven't carried it on. Because I did hear that the new coins, you couldn't do it. So I don't know whether that's true, but that's what we were always told after Nan stopped making them.
Yep.
Because she'd kept a collection of them.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so they sort of disappeared, and then, so no one's ever done it since.
I remember them, and I was actually thinking the other day, we used to have 5 and 10 cent pieces in ours, but I don't know if they were cooked in it or they were put in after. I can't remember. I'm going to have to ask my dad. I just don't even know.
Because ours were definitely cooked in it.
Yeah, and I feel like, and I will have to ask him, I feel like they were put in after, which kind of really makes me think. But I think it was for the purpose of, like, that half of the pudding is for you and your brother, so that they were planted on purpose. So maybe they didn't want them, or they only gave them to, I don't know. There'll be some science behind it, I'm sure.
Maybe it was that they weren't able to be cooked, because that's what we were told, that we weren't able to cook the new decimal currency.
That could be it.
I'm not sure.
And I have to ask a very interesting question.
Yep.
Is it trifle or pavlova?
Trifle. It's absolutely trifle. Yep. Sorry, it's definitely trifle. I can't go past it. A bit of trifle. I always go that way.
I'm the same. I love both, but gravitate to the trifle every time. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
If you had to choose between trifle or pavlova?
Is there a choice?
No, I don't think so.
I'd have both. I love trifle and I love cav.
And I have to share, that's what I love about Christmas, is this guilt-free food fest. Like, forget the calories, forget the scales. It's just on for young and old, and it's a feast. I love it. And other than the Christmas pudding, are you a trifle or pavlova person?
Oh, can't go past Mum's trifle. She always does a trifle as well. I do love pavlova, but yeah, she's starting to experiment a little bit with the trifle now as well, and all these different liqueurs. So you never know what you're going to get when you get to the sponge part of the trifle these days.
That's a problem.
Yes, sometimes she's gone a little bit overboard with the old liqueur and the trifle, but it's we've always got to have some of Mum's trifle. That's traditional dish at Christmas, on the Christmas table for sure.
Yeah. Now, my next really difficult question for you.
They're so difficult, Kerry.
I know. It's hard work. Trust me. Trifle or pavlova?
Well, we don't actually have pav at Christmas.
Oh.
In my family, we have trifle.
Yeah.
But my dad likes so much sherry in it that I don't like it.
Oh.
So I prefer pav, but we don't have it.
Right. That's the answer. That is the answer. If I get to your place for Christmas, I'll leave the trifle.
Well, you just don't put as much sherry in.
Yes. Could be it, yeah. John, how do you feel about hot cross buns being in the stores so close after Christmas?
Yeah. Look, to tell you the truth, I'm not a massive sweet tooth, so it doesn't really bother me a huge amount. But I do know, like, my wife loves hot cross buns, and if they could be in, Baker's Delight year round, she'd be all for that. So though, I do say I'm a bit of a fan of the normal. So, there's the chocolate ones and there's all of the others, but I think like the ones with the raisins were the ones that I'd sort of more gravitate toward. But yeah, good. Christmas and Easter all year round couldn't be better.
Exactly. That was my next question. Was it fruit or no fruit? But you've already answered that, so you can tick that one off. But the interesting one is toasted or untoasted?
I'm definitely a toasted. I'm definitely cut it in half in the toaster and a little bit of butter on is my preference.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Anne, here's a tricky one for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about hot cross buns hitting the stores right after Christmas?
Completely unnecessary.
Really?
Oh, no. Hot cross buns are meant for Easter. Easter, otherwise you've got nothing special.
I know, that's true. I can't disagree with that.
I love hot cross buns. If they can just take the cross off them, I'd eat them all the time. I love them.
That's right. Yeah. And is it fruit or no fruit for you?
Oh, fruit, definitely fruit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Toasted or untoasted?
I think I'm like them untoasted.
Ooh. Yeah. And I'm going to change it up. We're going to talk about hot cross buns. How do you feel about hot cross buns hitting the stores straight after Christmas?
Oh, they should be there 24/7, 365 days a year.
Agreed.
If I could have them there, absolutely. And before anyone says, yes, I know they do make them just without the crosses, but they're not the same.
Nah.
And there's not as many available of them. So yeah, come the end of Easter, always stock up with the last few runs of them in the freezer.
Yep.
Bust them out. Depending how, generally around Easter, it would be in the oven. I can wait for them.
Yep.
But the few weeks leading up to Easter, it would be a quick microwave job in there, and they'd always be a little either nighttime snack or maybe a morning tea snack.
Oh, morning tea sounds delicious, doesn't it? Oh, yes. Let's hurry up and get past Christmas so we can get to
That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And for you, Dan, is it fruit or no fruit?
I'm pro fruit. Yep. You can stick a little bit of orange peel in there. I don't mind that. I actually prefer the fruit over all these choc chip numbers that have come out and everything. But no, traditional hot cross buns, put the orange peel in there, sultana and raisin it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
More fruit, the better.
Yeah, definitely. And I was going to ask if it's toasted or untoasted. You've gone to the oven already, so maybe it's definitely the warmed version.
Yeah. You need to be a bit of warm so the butter just melts on there and it just gets to so it's nice and soft.
Yep.
It needs to be at a level where at least the butter can melt. That's key.
Agreed. Sometimes I've been known to grab them on the run and just fly out the door with them. But yes, agreed. If you can get that perfect melt, that's to die for. Yes.
100%. Yeah.
And Jo, how do you feel about hot cross buns hitting the supermarkets so close after Christmas?
I hate it.
Oh,
I hate it. I think it's just so, it feels real, it commercializes it too much, and it just makes me really think, oh, give us a break.
I get it 100%. I can't disagree, but I am an avid fan of hot cross buns. They should sell them all year round in my book. Just take the cross off, just leave them. And I think actually years ago, Safeways, Woolworths, whatever it was called, I'm sure they had a little fruit bun during the year that was just like a hot cross bun, and I just used to buy it, but they took them away. I was sad.
Because they wanted to commercialise it.
Yes. How do you feel about the different flavours? Like there's fruit, there's no fruit, but then there's chocolate. They've got all these variations these days. Which one are you?
I prefer the traditional, the fruit.
Yeah.
I don't like chocolate at all.
Nah, me neither.
The plain would be okay.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, you can get away with the plain, definitely with the fruit. I think I saw a caramel one last year. It's getting all out there. It's just going whole another level.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
No. And for you, Jo, is it toasted or untoasted?
It just depends. Toasted, because I find that often they're quite dense, and so I prefer to toast them then. But if they're a really nice light bun, then I like it without toast being toasted.
And you're right. I think you're onto something, because I remember many years ago, 10 years ago perhaps, they used to come in a foil tray.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cut them up. It was like a slab with 6 little buns on top. And you're right, they were quite dense. They were almost not quite cooked, like you had to put them in the oven. Yeah. But then these days they don't put them in the tray. They just have this 6 slab of buns, and then you just tear them apart. They're quite good. But if you go to, I found a cafe, I think this time last year, that sold them individually, and they were like handmade.
Oh, they'd be nice.
Oh, they were to die for.
Yum.
Oh, and
I'd like those.
Yes, and they had a little bit of, I think, not only the fruit, but I think they had a bit of peel in them as well. Yeah. It was delicious. It was so good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, absolutely. I could go on about hot cross buns all day, I'm sure.
You sound like you love Easter rather than Christmas, do you?
Well, I am an avid fan of a good plum pudding. I will with custard, and why not throw in some cream. But I love Christmas because of the food and the no guilt. Like you can go all out even for a couple of days, and you just don't even care. You're not looking at the scales, you're not counting the calories. It's just the best, It's all you can eat. It really is. I love it.
I eat till you feel really sick, actually.
Oh yes, food coma. 100%. And John, do you have a traditional Christmas dinner, or are you an Aussie Barbie kind of bloke?
So usually, by dinner, you're that full that you're almost rolling out. So usually it's a salad and Barbie and something a little bit lighter though, and the old throw a shrimp on the Barbie, or we call them prawns though. A few prawns on the Barbie, a bit of seafood and a bit of a salad after a huge lunch and a bit of a recovery.
I can't believe you've said that, because my next question was going to be, have you ever had the shrimp on the Barbie? Because it's so commonly spoken of, but then no one seems to have done it. Like it's I can't believe
It definitely is one of my faves. I was actually, funnily enough, thinking about it today because usually, Mum will like marinate some prawns in some like chili sauce and stuff like that. And I was sort of thinking about that, going, "Geez, I'm actually going to look forward to that this Christmas. I haven't had good feed of prawns and chili prawn on the barbie." So yes, absolutely.
And I think I have to share for a moment my favourite thing about Christmas, other than the buzz and the vibe and the presents and all that, and as you can see, all the stuff.
Yep.
I love the fact that we really can get away with eating whatever we want and don't have to feel guilty about it. And I hope a lot of people don't count the calories, you know.
Yeah. I think it's illegal on Christmas Day. You can't count calories, don't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've all just got this free pass to
Yeah.
enjoy food. I think it's one of the biggest things about Christmas is the food that comes with it.
Absolutely. It was funny because my wife said to me this morning, she said, because we're at her sister's for lunch, and my wife's a triplet and she has a younger sister, so it's 4 girls in her family, and there was the list. It's the list of what everyone's bringing, and I'm sort of going through that list just going, oh my God, my mouth is almost watering. There's going to be so much food, and you're like, which one do I want first? And, I've got to pace myself over the day. So, yeah.
For those that are quite analytical, they'd actually, like if they knew what was on offer, they'd actually be writing, like even just mentally making a bit of a list. Okay, so at 11 o'clock, I'll have this. At 11:30, I can squeeze that in. At 12, I'm going. I can just picture a whole spreadsheet on the day plan of the food expedition,
For sure. Absolutely.
Awesome. And tell me about your Christmas day. Do you have a lunch? Do you have a dinner? Is it the traditional meal or is it a barbecue?
Well, it's not a barbecue. We, like I said, very Aussie. It's cold meat and prawns.
Yep.
It's always lunch.
Yep.
It's been for years. And the beautiful embroidered tablecloth, the best china, best glassware. And yeah, we sit around and have prawns and champagne.
Wow.
Very nice way to spend Christmas.
Oh, fantastic. Also, other than the seafood, can I come to your place for Christmas? It sounds great.
I don't like seafood.
No, I'm not a seafood person. Otherwise, everything else about Christmas is on my list.
Oh, right. Oh, well, you can't come to my place. That's all we have is prawns, and then we have pav or trifle and lots of chocolate. And vino.
Oh, bit of vino. That's it. That's the way. And you mentioned before about seafood in Christmas Day for you guys. So are you the traditional Christmas dinner or do you do the Aussie barbecue? What's the go here?
Yeah, we've definitely sort of moved away from the traditional dinner. We're probably more of a lunchtime now, sort of lunchtime, do the cold meats, seafood prior to. So, yeah, the rest of my family, apart from me, obviously very lucky to live on the South Coast where some of the country's best oysters are around Merimbula. So they always stock up on plenty of oysters and great prawning around there as well. So start with that. And then it's a lot of cold meats, cold salads that generally last them a while. So, yeah, there'll always be something warm on the table, but not as much as your traditional leg hams, etc. That used to be years gone by.
Oh, yeah. Did it ever? And Jo, would you consider yourself a classical, like traditional Christmas Day dinner, or do you do an Aussie barbecue? You mentioned prawns before, so
no, we do. We, like I said, we do a fusion. So we have a breakfast, and we have banana bread and berries and bacon and eggs and all that stuff for the ones that are here for breakfast.
Yeah.
Because we do have a bit of a rotation these days because, they've got partners and their families, etc.
Yeah.
And then we usually have a lunch, and my family, we're all about salads, but still with chicken and those sort of things. But my husband's family, they're all about the baked dinner. So we have baked meats, and I do a few veg for him, and then we have all the salads.
Oh my God, I'm coming to your place.
Plus the prawns, plus the plum pudding. I know.
That's it. I'm packing the car. I'm coming to your place. I'm there. This is. Can I have an invite? Is that okay?
Okay. Mind you, it costs me a fortune, and so I have to really economise for the next month.
Oh, absolutely. And how do you go with your leftovers? Do you end up with way too much and you're eating for days, or
Yeah, but that's good when they're all staying, and which they are this time. They're all staying for 3 or 4 days. So yeah.
Oh, great. You'll have the mop-up team right behind you, helping.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, and we don't do anything much for dinner that night.
Nah, you
So
can't.
it's all just leftovers. So
Done.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm so coming to your place. I can't believe it. That's fantastic. It's funny because some families will do, the hot lunch. Some will do heaps do barbecues. Barbecues are super, super popular, like crazy. Yeah. But getting a bit of everything, that sounds even better. I love it.
We used to just do the salads, but then my husband protested and said, I just really love the traditional baked dinner.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay, why not? It's Christmas.
He does the meat, and then I'll just do the veggies and stuff. So.
Yeah, good. Good man. He pitches in. I love it.
Yeah.
And John, what are your goals for 2021?
Yeah. Look, I think one of our goals, I think, here is learning from this year, and just taking with it something. So not writing it off. I think a lot of people are very quick to go, oh, we really want to get this one behind us, and absolutely, I hear it, because it's going to be for a lot of people. It was, it definitely wasn't the normal year, and a lot of people have been doing it quite hard. But I think from our point of view, it's a learning. So what did we gain out of this? There was negatives, obviously, but what were some of the positives that we can take out of it, and how can we use that in a post-COVID environment to actually even better ourselves again? So whether it's the use of technology to stay connected a lot more, or the use of any of the other services around us to be able to facilitate being together without being together. So how can we take that and move forward with it, and bring I suppose our learning into a new fresh started year, is probably something that is one of the goals. And we're definitely, like, as an individual, I sort of think one of the things that I'm looking to do a little bit more of is be a little bit more proactive in the online environment in regards with our webinars that we're doing and so forth, and to keep that going. Like, even though, yes, it was something that we did because of a situation that we're put in with COVID, not being able to visit people, but I think keeping that going, as well as bringing back in the normal interaction with people, but just keeping that element going as well, because I think that was a great takeaway. Is sort of what my plans are for the next year anyway.
Definitely. And I think you're speaking, like, that's just what I keep hearing. Like, everyone's kind of saying the same thing. Like, we've done technology catch-ups, and we've, done Zooms and Teams and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people are actually saying, let's keep that going. Let's bring back slowly and safely some face-to-face, but we're not leaving that behind, because that brought great value, to be able to connect with someone interstate or like this and so quickly and achieve so much. Like, I think larger companies are looking at their sales team that used to be on the road and actually going, well, hang on a minute, $500 in flights, a few $100s in accommodation. Like, the landscape's changed, it really has. But for a positive, but also efficiency, and cost and all that kind of stuff. And I think you're right. There's definitely, it's been crap. So many people have just, done it really, really tough. But there's positives. There's definitely positives. And I think there's things that people have changed in their business. They're not going to change back.
No.
To a degree,
Yep. Absolutely. And, like, even we see, the old one of, I've got to get, these 6 people in the room because it's the managers and this and that, and then we'll have a demonstration and we'll all think about it together. And, tit for tatting a number of days because someone can't get there or whatever. And with, obviously, as you mentioned, the online environment, it's kind of like, well, they can be, literally at their office in a total different area to us, or a, total different state or whatever that might be. And just to be able to find, an hour of time or a half hour of time is a lot easier than going, well, I've got to find the hour of time, plus I've got an hour of travel, then I've got to find parking, then I've got to go back, and then I'm meeting somebody else, and do I have to push that meeting out, and all of these types of things. It was just like, well, we can do it, and we can still be exceptionally productive. And just because someone's not there face to face and you're literally sitting next to each other doesn't mean that the meeting can't be as relevant and as informative. So definitely, a massive one that we've seen occur. And I think even certain businesses have accepted it as well, because I think one thing that we used to see is businesses of certain size would just expect you're going to be there. And it's like, you couldn't possibly do this online. How could you possibly do something online? Aren't I important? And it's not that you're not important at all. It's more just, this is a medium that we can use and be much more efficient and facilitate other people in regards with fitting in with the schedule. So yeah, definitely a good one to take out of it and continue with, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you've hit the nail right on the head, bringing people from different places together so rapidly, and it just gives so much flexibility to the calendar, for everyone. It's not just for you guys or the business that's offering the service, it's for the consumer as well, B2B, B2C, all that kind of stuff. And one of the other things that I think has changed dramatically on the landscape is, home deliveries. Like it's just normal now. Like it is so normal, whereas before it was a case of you actually, you got up in the morning, you got dressed, you went to the shops. Like it's changed so much, and I can't see that particularly changing back. Like it might, it'll look different. You've got now your click and collects and all that kind of stuff are quite happening in the retail space. But I was chatting, actually, to digress, I was chatting with someone from Texas the other week, and she said to me that when they were from Australia, they moved there about 18 months ago. And when they arrived and they landed in this little nice complex that they live in, you'd get home from work and there'd just be all these parcels at the doorways. Like every single unit had these Amazon parcels. And I said to her, oh yeah, we get Amazon here. And she goes, yeah, but 18 months ago, that's what it was like. Before COVID, it was just, that's the done thing. You don't, in particularly where she was, you don't go out and shop. Everything gets delivered, but no one touches anything. Everything's safe and secure. Obviously a nice complex, but you come home and there's your deliveries. You take them in and the next day you get some more. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I think I saw something, I know it was 12 months ago I think could have been Amazon, and seeing that they were doing like tests with drones to, bring things to people's doors. Like it's absolutely amazing, that sort of thing. Yeah. So definitely, that's super impressive.
Yeah, I saw one similar. It was actually, I think they were testing drones for delivering pizza, like Uber Eats via drone or something.
That's super cool.
I know, imagine that. Oh yeah, I'll have a large Hawaiian, please. Really cool. I'd love to do that. That'd be great. Yeah.
For sure.
And what are your goals for 2021?
What are my goals?
Personal or business? Go either way.
Okay, so my business goals, because it's only just kicking into the second year of my business. So very, very new at this. Yeah. Look, if I can make $1,000 a week, I'll be very, very, very happy.
Yep.
Got a business plan in place and working towards it. So I reckon if I can get that, I'll be really, really happy. Yeah. It'll take a lot of work. But the best thing about it, when I made my first sale, I celebrated because it was my work and it was all mine. And I did it by myself.
Yes.
So I'll just keep on doing that. That's my professional goal. Mm-hmm. The other one actually is kind of professional. I'm halfway through a master's and I want to finish it. And I can't decide how I want to finish it. Do I want to do it in applied behaviour analysis? Oh, this must be so boring to everybody. Or inclusive education or what? Because, I just really passionate about managing behaviour positively and just can't quite decide which road I want to go down, but I do want to get it done. And even if I don't finish it next year, at least the year after. That's definitely one of my goals that I definitely want to tick off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'll be a lot of work, but it'll also help the business.
Yeah, good one.
And spend more time with my husband, of course, and
Yes.
but mostly my husband. My son's gone up and grown, and he's got to go and live his own life now. But
yeah,
nice, Brian and me together. Goodness me, 21 when we met, and
that would feel like yesterday. That
we still feel like kids even now.
Yeah.
But goodness me, we're 3 years off 60.
No,
Yeah, truly, yeah. So it'll be nice. It's always nice to spend it with him. That's one of the nice things at the moment. Is, I get to see him every day. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's great. And Dan, what's your goals for 2021?
Goals for 2021 are to build on a little bit of that, build on 2020, and it's been a tough year for everyone, just to try and maintain the status quo, as opposed to focus on a real growth period. It's just kind of survive. And so 2021 is, all right, how can we sort of build on top of that? I think a lot of people have learned a lot from 2020. It's accelerated a lot of their knowledge, it's accelerated a lot of the things they need to do in their businesses. So from my perspective, and helping the online space for businesses out there, the ones that have realised that it is a really imperative part to their business, and trying to help them realise that, and to do it smarter and better, more effectively, and to realise that rather than just doing it for the sake of doing it, you need to do it and be able to see that it actually works at the end of the day, rather than just your profit and loss sheet. You can actually track it all. So a lot of my time will be help educating a lot of people in that space, and to trying to reach more people. There's only sort of one of me, and I love working with clients, and we'll still do that. So I'm practicing what I'm teaching all the time, and at the forefront of it. But I'd like to be able to teach the people that maybe want to do it themselves, maybe have the passion to do it themselves, or maybe don't need that full-fledged one-on-one support and done for them at the moment. They can do little elements of that and help them realise the benefits of all the different areas of online marketing, but obviously more specifically around the advertising and the messenger space as well.
So does this look like a YouTube channel or some courses? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it'll be a lot more webinars. There'll be some courses, but they'll be workshop focused. So it'll be live workshops. Won't necessarily be buy it and take it as you go. They'll get access to everything, but it'll definitely be more enroll. Here's a calendar. You can get along. Ask the questions live. I think people this year has certainly, the growth of the online learning and people doing calls like this via Zoom. A lot of people are Zoomed out and webinared out.
Yes.
So being able to have direct access to the person and get that personalisation that they need, and that'll be a really big key going forward for any type of business, is a personalisation. And people are expecting to be treated as an individual. So a lot of the teaching I want to be able to doing is going to be more focused one-on-one, or one to a small group with the opportunity to learn from other people and ask direct questions, rather than one to, dozens, hundreds, etc., all at the one time. So that's something that I want to be able to do, because I want to be able to, I learn as much from the people asking questions as they do from me teaching them. So being able to help them problem solve and work through the issues that Facebook and all other different technology can throw up. So be able to support them with that is something I really want to focus on. So it'll be more workshop based, and a lot more regularity to some of those as well.
Awesome. Sounds really good. And I'll be keeping an eye out for that myself, to be honest. Yeah.
Great.
And Jo, do tell me, what are your plans for 2021? Do you have big goals personally or business wise?
Yes. Well, I guess I do. Business wise, I really want to, I want to hold more workshops and things like that, rather than, I had plans for this year, but everyone knows what happened to this year. So I would like to hold workshops and maybe even webinars still, but although I feel like webinars are a little bit I don't know, I think we're all tired of online, but I thought I'd offer both because then it meets both needs. So I will do that, but also want to be, I want to probably not, I was working way too many hours. So I actually want to spend a bit extra time with the family. So I'm trying to only work 3, maybe 4 days a week.
Yep.
Instead of, whatever.
7. 7, let's be honest.
Yeah, 7.
7.
So I'm trying to, so that's my personal goals, because we sort of want to do a bit of traveling as well if we can, and well, around Australia.
Yeah.
So there's just so many things that we want to do. So got to try and fit it all in.
Yeah, that's the hard part. There's just not enough hours in each day. There's not enough days in the week. We need more months. It's crazy. Like, look at this. It's December. I cannot believe it's December. Where did the year go? And really, when you think about it, everything that everyone's been through, I actually expected probably around about April or May, I thought it was going to be a slow year. I thought it was going to kind of drag out.
I know.
But it's gone fast.
I think it's gone faster.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think maybe it is the Zoom and everyone's just gone crazy on the Zoom, and so we're actually meeting people and trying to meet people in person now. Things have opened up as well.
Yeah. And listen, I think, digital and technology and all that kind of stuff has been amazing. Like I was just actually saying to hubby yesterday, imagine if this happened in 1990. Oh, horrid. Absolute.
We have been so lucky, really.
Yes. So we've really, and everyone's pivoted, there's been so many changes in business, and people have adapted and brought in new things and used the technology for their businesses, which has been fantastic. But the amount of people that I speak to that actually say, oh no, I'm keeping Zoom. Like, I'm not hitting the road because I can meet with someone, I can meet with all of the directors of something, come together and make a decision faster than I was before.
And at much more cost effective.
Yes.
And I think also you can share your resources really well across it. Oh no, I love technology, as you know.
Time. John, do you have anything in general that you would like to share about Christmas? Any memories or anything special that's resonated with you over the years?
I suppose for me over the years, Christmas has always, in our family especially, has always been about, I think, family and getting together as a family and sharing things. So yes, you've got the presents and everyone loves that, and all the kids and everything gets excited, but I think it's more that, like, the sharing the meal and sharing just some time, and being that it's Christmas, that it's a hectic time of year, but that everyone can just take a bit of a breather because we've maybe got a few days or hopefully a week or so off, that you can just chill out and recap and connect as a family, as well as with your friends as well, is probably something that is something that I always think of when I think of Christmas. Is just that sort of connection and getting back together as a family unit.
Yeah, I think it's more important than ever this year. I think this year everyone's been so separated, and I think it gives that extra buzz to Christmas this year, that everyone's going to be able to come back together and see each other, that people we haven't seen for months and that type of thing. So this year I think it's got an extra special touch to it. Yeah.
Definitely, like that's one of the things that our entire team here at Microkeeper is looking forward to, is just, being that we've all been so segregated for so long and, working from home, and you see each other daily on Zoom or Hangouts or whatever it might be, but it's more just, like I was saying to the guys, the Christmas party, what are we doing and whatever. I think everyone was just super, super excited about being together. It didn't really matter what we were going to do. We could have done anything, but it was more just a point that we were all together, and we weren't just like enjoying our own company sort of thing. It was, we're actually physically being able to connect and be back together as a team, as a unit, and do something, do something enjoyable together.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I just had this mental picture of, if you had a Christmas party with your team, but you couldn't connect face to face, you'd be sitting there going, "This is what I've got. Look, like what's that?
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's been prime that we've been allowed back.
Yes, exactly. And anything else about Christmas that you want to share? Any fond memories? Any little, sneaky surprises, or anything that popped into your life about Christmas that we can talk about?
Oh, I think I've always loved Christmas for a lot of reasons. I love all the traditions that go with Christmas. They're not all Christian. A lot of them have to do with European traditions, like the tree and the Yule log. I love the story of the Yule log, which is, if you know anyone who's Danish, or anyone further up toward the Arctic Circle, those 12 days of Christmas are because the sun never rises. My son was in Iceland one Christmas. I think they had 3 hours of sunlight.
Yeah.
So you burn the Yule log to keep it going all night, and all 12 nights, and sit around. People would sit around and tell stories. I love that tradition. They do that in Denmark, and in Iceland they all give each other books so they can sit around the fire and read. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love all the traditions to do with Saint Nick. Saint Nick was a fantastic bloke, and still exists in the world today. I think that's seriously cool, and all the traditions about it. But lovely memories of being a little child, waking up early in the morning and the sunlight shining through onto the tinsel of the tree, and I still remember that. No, I couldn't have been more than that, 4 or 5, and the tree towered above me. Little things like that, the smell of gardenias, the taste of mangoes and prawns. The sound of Christmas carols. I love traditional Christmas carols. All those little things all come together in Christmas, and definitely a time of peace. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. How relaxing is it? Like, I don't know about you, like it gets busy, all these things that we do to prepare for Christmas. Like right now, like I'm staring at the calendar going, oh, I better do some shopping, right? But all the preparation, and then you get to the day and then everyone comes together and enjoys awesome food again. Guilt-free, calorie-free, like it's just great. And then you got the food comas afterwards,
Yeah, and that's nice. It's really a time when everyone can stop and relax.
Yeah. Anything else, Dan, that you wanted to share about Christmas? Any particular memories that you've got, or anything that stands out in your mind Christmas related?
Oh, I think it's just a great time, particularly this year, just to take stock of that we've got there, for starters, to the end of the year. It's certainly been a tumultuous year from so many different elements, and so many people have been affected in a lot of different ways. And, I think sometimes we can be so go and focus this year, and probably, focus at this time of year, whereas 2020, people are still busy. I can still see that in people and wanting to get things done before Christmas. But I think the past year has sort of forced people to take a step back, realize what's important to them, what they need to focus on, how to enjoy the different parts of their life. And I think over the Christmas and New Year time is a great opportunity to be able to do that. So, I think everyone, and when we're business owners as well, we don't tend to switch off. And I know it's hard, to be able to do. And it's one of those things that if you don't do, you will burn out. We've all been there. I've certainly been there. And all I can say is, like, you've got everyone's permission to be able to switch off, even if it is for a few days. Yeah. People are in the same mindset. 2021 is still going to come. Yeah. It will still be here. Nothing will happen between that week or so that you want to take off. So just take some time, make the most of the people around you, friends, family, loved ones, stay safe. And, it will refresh you so you can come back and be more effective in 2021. And everyone will be able to benefit from that.
Yeah, I think I should go and look at my calendar again.
We've all been there, but look, it's one of those things as business owners, that if you don't take that time to have a little bit of a break and to give yourself a break and your brain a break as well, because we've got so many things throwing information at us this year, not only for our own businesses, but just in how we live our lives as well, and how we could be living our lives for the next weeks, months, years into the future as well. So it's always another element that we haven't had to contend with before. So,
True.
Give it a little bit of a break. Maybe give it some time to try a couple of new habits. Maybe take a little bit of some time throughout your day just to do a bit of relaxation or even a meditation. Grab a good book. There's a blog post I've just published around some good reads for business and marketing. Not everything really heavy related, just some things that can help people refocus a little bit. So I've certainly got some audio books teed up and a couple on my iPad ready to go, and that will be that will be the level of work that I'll be doing for a week or so, I'd imagine.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. I think I can take that on board. Absolutely. I will try. I will try. Jo, do you have anything else about Christmas that you would like to share?
I just think that probably this year we're just going to really all appreciate being able to see each other. I really hope that we don't have any lockdowns so if we can, it'd just be so lovely. And we are in Australia and New Zealand are so lucky.
Oh yeah.
So I just think we really need to count our blessings.
Yes, agreed so much. And you're right. I think everyone's there's this extra special buzz this year about Christmas. I think it's just it's going to be amazing, to be able to get together with family and friends all across the country, and people like flights are reopening. I heard the other day that, is it Melbourne to Perth or Sydney to Perth? One of those.
Yeah, WA's opening up.
Yeah. I did hear it's expensive. I heard that it's
always expensive.
Yeah. But that's great. Like, people are going to actually be able to travel and see each other and get together. It's so exciting. It is.
I know. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably my big Christmas thing, is just count our blessings.
Yes.
Because you look at the rest of the world. Oh,
absolutely. And you're right. We're so lucky. And I hope that everyone doesn't lose that sense of gratefulness. It's so easy to lose. We're all going to get busy again. Life's going to get back to normal. I just don't want to lose that community feel. Like, even, someone down the road that you don't even know, you just, pass them and say good morning. Like, it's just been so good in that respect.
Yeah, that's good. Especially, I think, in Melbourne, you'd be really, really appreciating it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us for this episode. This episode was starring our wonderful guests, John from Microkeeper, Jo from Expand Careers, Anne from Effective Behaviour Management, and Dan from Organik Digital. These guys were amazing guests on the show throughout the year, and I thank them so much for coming back and joining me for the BizNation Christmas Mashup podcast. So to everyone listening or watching, thank you so much for your support throughout 2020. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, festive greetings, and a Happy New Year for 2021.
Thanks for joining us for the BizNation podcast, proudly brought to you by Zinc Business Solutions, your home for micro and small business support. You can find us at zincbusinesssolutions.com.au. Tune into future episodes for more interviews, hints and tips to help get you set in your business. Until next time, stay safe, stay well.